All right, folks, it is the much anticipated by me and no one else episode of Locker Room because nobody else knew this was coming, including these two fellows right here, Scott Hatfield and Mike Vandemark. We've been talking about hot topics this year on Locker Room. We've covered all kinds of things like race and gender. We even talked about COVID and fear and all kinds of different things. And I thought it'd be fun to have you two on here because you're two of the stronger personalities that I know and work with, present company included,
yes.
including myself.
It's three's company, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought what would be fun to give everybody a little bit of a breather in Locker Room where we're trying to redeem men's conversations.
Global warming?
Make sure we get that in. Yeah, because three of us in our scientific minds.
Fracking.
All that kind of thing.
You want to talk about fracking?
I came from Colorado where fracking was a really big conversation.
I don't even know what that is, but I love
it's
that
a
word.
Big
I love
conversation.
fractions.
Fracking.
Pizzas, you can see it, take
Pizza
a piece out,
pie.
1/8. Yeah.
Yeah, out in Colorado,
So
fracking was a daily conversation with
I don't
people.
even know what it is.
It's oil well drilling, but it's like super deep. Like it goes down to it like fractures the core of the earth or something.
I don't have an opinion on that.
Sounds exhilarating.
Well, what you will have an opinion on is three topics that we're going to cover today, and they will be the categories of sports, movies, and music. And I have 5 questions in each category that we may get through, we may not, and they may cause disagreement amongst the two of you, and they may not. One thing I thought that might be fun is if the two of you agree, I'll then be forced to disagree.
Oh,
so
cool.
even if I don't,
like
if
an
you're not about
ESPN
to,
show.
yeah, like so. Even if I don't like
combos.
actually disagree, I'll try to play devil's advocate
Okay.
and push back and give the
Let's
counter
choose
argument.
wisely what we agree on.
Yeah, I worried about telling you that.
2 blinks.
Like I worried about telling you that. Where
If
you
I
guys
do this right here, if I turn my cup towards you, we're in agreement.
that means let's make Scott
hold
disagree
hands
on
on
this
this
one. All right, we're gonna move through progressively from sports to movies to music, but I'll do one of each. So we'll just kind of cycle through it for a little while. So we'll go from sports to movies, and then we'll do music. So the first category is sports, and the first question is golf a sport or a game? Is it a sport or is it a game?
I'm going to define sport and game. I'm going to try and work this out. For me, I think sport can be something that is an activity. That
He
can
plays
be,
disc golf, just so you know.
I did play disc
Valid
golf.
point.
I did play disc golf.
Just
to
to
get
get some
context.
rational justification.
Hold on. I played.
I'm just saying.
He likes it.
I
too.
saw your post.
How many?
It was good. I mean, I had the best drive of my life yesterday.
How many
However,
discs? How many discs do you carry?
About 29.
While you play, what?
I got
JR,
one frisbee, folks.
JR, you play with him, right?
No, he does not.
He doesn't play with you?
No, he does not.
You don't?
No,
Okay.
he doesn't.
All right.
Anyways, back to my thing. I think a game requires you competing against somebody.
Okay.
I think, and I think sport is an activity. So, because I think you can go out and you can compete against yourself in golf or in like sporting clays or like shooting or I think to me there's sport to things like gambling or
You have a broad definition.
I do
of
of
sport.
sporting.
He's taking this a direction I didn't think he would take.
Of
it.
sport. And I think a game requires, for me, it requires some sort of competition. So I do think it's a sport. I'll go with
Interesting.
sport on golf. It has both. You can compete against like your own self, like against your numbers and the
course.
those,
Yeah,
the
other people.
course and those
Sure.
sort of things, or other people. That's where I am on it.
So he says it's sports.
Cheerleading in sport. Did you put that down? I'm just kidding. Let's
You
leave
get to
that
you
alone.
get.
Hey, listen, it's a horrible sport is what it is. It's
But it
it's
is a sport.
horrible sport.
But it's a sport.
Yes.
So you guys agree?
I hate
I
it.
think we agree on
Yeah.
that.
So I've taken in the past a very different approach with this question. Yours has kind of fascinated me. I have to think about it a little bit more.
That's off the cuff.
This is one of my favorite, and it doesn't have to be golf. Like it's one of my favorite conversation starters. Is to
Now-
go, what's a sport versus a game?
Yeah.
Right. And you might go, is a golfer an athlete? And I might have a
It's a
different
race car drive.
Some
Is
are.
is it athletic?
that's right.
Like, right?
You don't have to be.
Because I used to have this argument with a good friend of ours who he would always say Tiger Woods is the greatest athlete of all time, and that's not even
that's
close.
silliness.
That's
Right.
stupid.
Yeah.
And I hope he's listening to this
Yeah.
because we still.
Well,
disagree.
what I've always
so
tried
it's
to
not
say
an
is-
athlete thing. It's a sport. What does sport mean versus game?
So what I've always tried to say is if you can smoke while you're doing it, it's not a
you can
sport.
smoke in one hand and drink in the other.
So bowling, darts, things like that.
Sure.
Not a sport, but a game. See, I've taken almost the exact opposite approach of what you've.
I feel like you're just saying because game sounds more juvenile than sport.
Maybe so. You've blown my mind a
Yeah,
little bit.
that's
because there are individual sports
Yes.
where you could just go out and do the
Yeah.
sport with nobody else involved.
Right. And I automatically just go to like sporting clays. I mean, they call it that because it's a competition against yourself when you're shooting clays or different things. And that's not an athletic, it takes some coordination, but
Yeah.
it fits in that. So I think you're.
It takes coordination, not
you're-
athleticism.
Right. I think you're feeling like the word game is just more juvenile
Maybe
than
so.
the word sport.
And I do feel like sport, in my mind, requires athleticism.
Yeah.
Game doesn't.
Maybe. Yeah.
You carry 29.
Come on, man.
Dude, I mean, how heavy is that?
It's
What
pretty
does that
heavy.
look like?
I was going to
It's
say,
pretty
how much
heavy.
does it weigh?
It's pretty heavy.
It's a
I
ruck
have
pack?
no idea, but mine's the
That's
heaviest.
more than a golfer carries in their
Yeah,
golf
there's no
bag by
restrictions.
a lot.
There's no
putter.
restrictions. That's a
there-
debate in disc golf. Should there be restrictions?
And there should. Just so that people don't go over the top like you.
Yeah.
Do you use all 29 in a given round?
So most people would load their bag up for the specific course.
Yes.
I just don't go through that hassle.
Oh, so you just take it all.
I just take it all.
You have a
Bring-
caddy and stuff? And
No,
goes-
shut up, man. Let's move on. Can we move on?
I like where this is
Can we
going.
move on?
I'm shooting
All right.
about 85.
Can
What
we
do you
move
think there,
on?
Johnny?
I get in my cargo shorts and I go out in my Tivas and I play disc golf for a
I like
while.
it.
Okay, let's move
What's
on.
the best
athlete.
course in town?
Veterans.
Veterans Park?
Yeah.
Okay. All
For me.
Well, for you. You score best there.
No, it's the hardest. No, I'm just saying my personal opinion. Shut up. Let's move on.
All right, movies.
Do you stretch out beforehand?
Movies. All right. The Matrix, overrated or underrated?
You're going for.
Because there's a new one. There's a new one coming out, right?
It's been a while,
There it is.
man. I think it's overrated.
Don't give any reasons. Let's get this mic right here, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
It's been a while since I've seen a Keanu Reeves movie. Red pill, blue pill, I get it.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a mind bender. You're trying to figure it out. I love the action where he lays back, you know,
yeah,
doing the
yeah,
limbo
yeah.
as
Yeah,
the
the
bullet
famous-
goes by. But, yeah, I don't. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so my position has changed. I did not like it when it came out. I just didn't. I've never been one to really be into things that are real futuristic or spacey. Like I struggle with the Avengers when they do the space stuff. I want them to just fight on the ground, you know, those
Yeah.
sort of things. And, you know, like I can do Star Wars because it's not really spacey. It's
You
more
don't
like
think
real.
there's not aliens? You don't think that?
Yeah. So
you didn't like that Superman
when I
where
watched
they went
them,
to outer space
no.
either,
So when I
yeah.
watched them in college, because that's when they were coming out.
Yeah,
I think I
jeez.
saw the second one in the theater in college, if I remember right. But I didn't. I just really didn't like it. The special effects were cool, and I don't think Keanu Reeves is a good actor at all. He's the same dude. I mean, I love the John Wick movies.
I do
but
like
it's
John
not
Wick
because,
now.
Not because of him. I just
There's a lot of
He's
killing.
Point Break. He's Johnny.
yeah, he
yeah.
just is who
Bill
he
and
is.
Ted.
Yeah.
He is who he is, and
Yeah.
he's not very compelling. But I rewatched him a couple years ago with my son, and I got way more into the storyline
Yeah.
and the depth of the the Messiah
Yeah.
thing, and I did enjoy them.
Yeah.
Much differently than when they were first out. So I don't know that I would say they're underrated. I also think they really did impact how we make movies, and some of those special effects were early stuff. So I'm gonna disagree with him and slightly go they were slightly underrated.
Changed his life.
I have a nuanced position on this one. I believe it was overrated when they came out, but they're underrated now.
That's
I
where
think they're
I
a little
am.
bit ahead of their time. Like there's been a lot
Yes.
of movies since that might,
Yeah, there were some gaps in it that
some logical
Yeah.
like fallacies and
Yeah.
some things like that. All right, music. This is
Let's
your
go.
boy's wheelhouse over
Let's
there.
go.
Yeah.
Are you ready
Unless
for
it's
this?
80s
I
rap.
mean, you are one of his groupies, so
Let's go.
You've been known to throw your underwear on the Lexington Lab Band stage.
go.
I'd
So,
love to.
I know you would.
I've not been,
I don't think
but
he showed
I'm a
up,
big
but-
fan of the Instagram things that are on there. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, the music.
Better rock band, AC/DC or Led Zeppelin?
No, I don't. I'm not going to have a whole lot in this.
It's okay.
I'm not. I don't really know even that much care about those two, to be honest.
Doesn't even care.
Okay, I'm going to say AC/DC.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I know you would.
It's a formula. It is rock. It is stadium rock. It is every song.
Look at him.
Kicks butt. I like Led Zeppelin better, but I think AC/DC is a better rock band. And it's not, when you say that, it's not just about the tunes. It's about the persona.
The whole thing.
It's about, yes. I think they hit way more people. I think more people, when they hear You Shook Me All Night Long or Back in Black, they're like, yes.
Yeah.
And there's some Zeppelin songs that are like that, but I think they embody the classic rock thing, whereas Zeppelin is blues and they throw in some other stuff and they get a lot of acid. And you know what I mean? So that's my opinion. I'm not saying they're a better band. I think they're a better rock band.
Rock band. All right.
TLC was a better band.
He's got nothing.
He's
So
got
you're going to have to
Huey
disagree
Lewis,
with it. He agrees
Power
with me.
Love.
What do you say? You have to take Zeppelin.
Well, you're messing with me once again because, and I knew you would do this in the musical categories because we've had some of these engagements. I like Led Zeppelin far more.
Yeah.
Far more.
More influential.
Yeah, songs like Ramble On or Black Dog or obviously Stairway to Heaven, things like that are pretty, but your contention when I said that the what did I say? I said
Enter Sandman.
I said Enter Sandman was the best rock song of all time. You said Back in Black. I was like, that's a pretty good comeback.
And I like Enter Sandman, but I just think when you look at the whole thing, it's not just about the music in that industry, and AC/DC is, they're it.
Oak Ridge Boys or Alabama?
Oh, Alabama.
Careful.
Ooh, really?
Love Alabama.
Careful, you
Play
might
me
get
that
into
mountain
it.
music. 18-wheeler. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, see? Crossing swords with the
Best blind singer,
Hey,
Stevie Wonder,
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, or what's the country one? Smoky Mountain Rain. What's his name?
You
Come on.
Just exceeded my country music knowledge right there.
You're killing me, man.
I can't believe Ronnie Milsap.
Ronnie Milsap.
Hey, listen, that'll bring a tear to a glass eye.
All
All right,
digress.
sports.
Sorry.
Which of the big three sports would you prefer to watch live and in person the most? Hockey is not one of them. Mike
Now, see,
Vandemark.
that's the problem. There's a big four. There are big four sports, but go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, that's what I. That's which of the big.
suck.
Which of the?
Okay, ready?
Which
got
of the
three
big,
of them?
Which of the big three?
Disc golf, number one.
Badminton.
I'm about ready to leave.
Are you
and
serious?
croquet.
You're taking one of the big four out.
Yeah, big three. I said big three. If you've picked big three, you have to go basketball, baseball, football.
You do. Go ahead.
Okay, so
what's
which of the
question?
big three would you prefer to watch live and in person? If you got to choose one, which of the big three is your preference to watch live and in person? Baseball, really? Why?
Yeah. Well, I assume you're going professional sports.
Yeah.
NBA basketball is just a bore to me until the playoffs. They slack off and all that. Football I like, but I like it better on TV. Like I would choose that sport of the three. That's the sport I would choose.
True.
But it's better on TV. And baseball, it's the whole experience, and that keeps going. I just love the whole experience of baseball.
Cracker Jacks and hot dogs, and
It's relaxed. You can walk around. I don't know, the crack of the bat. There's just stuff about it that.
It's a good argument.
But I would choose football, but on TV. I wouldn't go live.
Well, baseball, you can also, almost get in a fight.
Yeah,
like,
and
like you and I, like I did almost last time we saw each other.
Scott Hatfield almost got me in a fight. I didn't do anything.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was mad at you and going to take it out on me. See somebody run across the field.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It's pretty fun.
Streaker
And it
with
wasn't me
clothes
or
on.
you, yeah.
No, that's right. I'd love to try that though.
No,
I'd really
too.
like
I'd
to be.
pull-
I'd really like to be part of you guys' life at some point.
We weren't together.
We weren't together, actually.
We weren't together. We just happened to be at the same
We ran
game.
into each other.
Not far from
In
each other.
Cincinnati.
Listen to him. Well, listen, I'll go buy a couple frisbees and see if we can go make this happen.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an invite out to Veterans Park.
I live
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh, you guys would! I saw you at
I've played
Veterans
it
once,
before.
walking the hill with your sandbags.
I've played it
With
before.
my weighted vest, trying to sweat this weight off.
So what's your sport?
I would say basketball. I've been to Seattle Seahawks football games. I've been to UK basketball.
Stop hitting the table,
sorry.
man.
My
It goes
bad.
through the
My
mics.
bad,
Gosh.
man. You are running this over here. There's something about I've gotten to see the Cats play in different places. I understand totally what you're saying about pro ball. It's okay come playoff time and on TV. Football's pretty good, man. It's fun, but I I love being in the atmosphere when there's a big game at UK. So yeah, I'd say basketball.
Yeah, aside from watching my son play, any of those sports, I would be fine with. But I never liked going to Bronco games in Denver. Even went to some playoff games. It's a better experience on TV. I hate being cold.
Yeah.
So,
true.
Man, climate controlled environment. I'm going basketball all day, every day.
All right.
So
2-1.
All right, if you. This one's for you, Scott. I wrote this one just for you.
Sweet.
I'm excited about it.
All right, cool.
If you had to pick between Steven Seagal and the actor who played Coach to be the lead male role in every movie, which one would you pick?
Craig T. Nelson.
He hates Craig T. Nelson.
Bro, I'm
and
in.
He hates Steven Seagal.
All right, now here's the deal.
Craig T. Nelson is an unbelievable actor. You got to go with Craig.
Here's the deal. I had that feeling a long time ago, and then I watched the show Parenthood,
Yeah.
and I like that dude now.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it was one of my rules.
Yeah,
back in the
it was
day.
a rule.
I cannot do Steven Seagal ever. I do love the names of his movies.
So are you guys going in agreement
Yeah, we're
with
both
Craig
Craig T. Nelson.
Nelson.
Coach.
I didn't
Let's
anticipate
go.
that. I
Give
can't
us-
argue for
give us-
Steven
You
Seagal.
have to. You have to, bro. It's Coach.
He's a weird. He's
He's
dude,
awful.
man.
He's truly awful. I mean, I can't.
Your
and it's
favorite movie has to be the one where he's on the
submarine.
Navy. He's the Navy cook.
The
on
submarine or something.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
man.
whatever
Come
that was.
on.
That was also the name of another movie or something.
know.
Yeah, I can't argue for him. I can't do it. I just have to submit.
I grew
I
out
He's
of
got
didn't
that.
better
anticipate
hair.
this. Yeah.
He's more intense. Like
It's also
He's an
bad.
awesome dad to those kids. That family, man. I mean, that'll make you cry, buddy. It's a good show. There's a lot going on.
He's also on a show that we watched. That's a spinoff show. That's the little kid Genius. It's like the spinoff of something else.
Good
I forget.
Son?
No, I'll think about it. My kids love it, but it's funny. All right, on to music. True or false? Rapper's Delight is a terrible rap song.
I mean, I'm a slave to the rhythm when that song comes on.
All right.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like it when that old lady in the movie does the rap. You know what I'm talking about when she wraps it up?
What movie?
You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
She's really old.
I think so. I forget what movie
I feel like
it
it's
is.
a Sandler movie or something like that,
Yeah.
or a Will
It
Ferrell
might
movie.
be. It might be Adam Sandler.
I like
Wedding
it.
Singer or something like that. I like it.
And I used to skate.
I think it is actually.
I used to skate rap.
Yeah, you used to skate.
Dude, when that song, you leave Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You leave it and you get on out there.
You go skate.
And then you
Here's
hit your
the-
moves.
Here's
Yep.
the problem. When you ask these questions, you add descriptive words
I know.
that make me answer a certain
I've set
way.
the
It is
rules.
not a terrible
I've
rap
set the
song.
rules.
It is not a terrible rap
So
song.
false for both of you.
It is false because it's a foundational.
Yeah.
At least for a white kid that grew up in the late '80s and '90s, it's a foundational.
Are you white?
Yeah.
Well, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to say that like that. I just don't know the history of rap that well, so that could be argued by somebody. But for me, I mean, that's a
Foundational.
classic.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible.
Yeah,
it's goofy at times.
It's terrible
Yeah,
to listen to.
sure.
It's goofy at times,
It
but-
doesn't land well. It doesn't stand the test of
Yeah,
time.
you know,
it
rap
doesn't
much
land
better
well
than
on modern
us.
ears.
Are you just saying that because you?
No, I hate it. I really
you
do
really
hate
are
it.
just
No, I
taking the
don't like
opposite
it.
position.
No, I really don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't stand the test of time. It's like when you go back and watch a movie that you once were like, man, this was so funny, and then you're like,
Sure.
But when we play it at weddings,
I know.
we put it in the middle
You're out
because
there.
we do the
Sure.
Chic song
You're
that it's
out there.
actually based off of.
yep.
We play that and we go into the thing. People love it.
Oh, yeah.
Now white people love it, but
Yeah.
people love it.
It's a white people proof song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so-
it's just shy of the electric slide
Oh,
and
yeah.
the cha-cha slide.
All
you
right, so
go.
I might go back. It might be terrible.
Cha-cha slide is the ultimate white people proof
Yeah,
song.
totally.
It's color by number dancing.
Yeah.
Okay, back to sports. The college football championship should just be called the SEC championship. True or false?
Oh, that's totally false. and not because an SEC team wouldn't win it every year.
Almost every year.
But if you can't win your conference, you shouldn't be in it. And so the SEC has conference schedules and has conference championships to determine their champion.
So how big
send-
should your playoff be? How many?
The playoffs should only include conference champions.
So how many is that? Is that like 10 or 12?
I don't know how many conferences there are.
Yeah,
So you want all these duty teams in all these bad conferences.
Because if Georgia loses to Alabama in the SEC championship game, they've already lost to Alabama. Alabama's already shown they're better than Georgia. Why should Georgia get an elimination
once,
game?
right? They lost once, but
Well, you can't play more than once in football generally. You don't have that many weeks.
You can't if the
But I
best
mean,
teams play in the playoffs.
It is the opposite of what we do with basketball. What you're describing,
Yeah,
meaning
they
you
play a
could,
bunch.
Kentucky's lost the SEC championship many times.
I'm not
and
talking
then go
about,
on to
but
win
we're
the
not
national
talking
title.
basketball.
I know,
We're
I
talking
know.
football.
Well, I mean, we're just using a.
So for me, you have to be able to win. If you don't win your conference, if you're not the best in your conference, you can't be the best in the country. That's just so.
Could be at the end of the year, Vandy. I mean, you could be at the end of the year.
Not if you play a championship game.
You could be a month later.
I think I
feel that Scott is going with True though. He seems to be
he's going to disagree
True.
with me, and I'm not saying that the best SEC team every year is the best in the country. I'll give you that, but I'm probably arguing something different than what you're even asking.
I don't know what I'm asking that clearly.
So for me, if you can't win your,
I think a tournament that has less than 4 SEC teams is a bad tournament. That's what I think because we're stacked, we're jacked. And we're
now
ready
hold
to
on,
bring some smack down.
No, can you
Less
say
than
we,
four.
Can,
Less than four.
Can you say we? Can you say we?
Well, I
Really?
mean, we're 4-0.
That's the one thing I don't like about SEC
We're 4-0.
people.
SEC.
Is we.
We are
there's
in the
There's a
SEC.
lot of we. You
It's
just
just-
don't. When
it's
Ohio
just
State
different.
goes to the national championship, I don't go we.
It's just different down here.
Yeah, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's what
That would be a
is.
commercial about that,
What
right?
that is fans, and I'm going to be respectful, but fans of a team that doesn't often get there.
Remember your
have
audience.
To embrace,
Remember your audience.
I know, but I can't not tell the truth. Have to embrace the conference.
Oh, man.
To experience the winning tradition. That's
Maybe. I mean,
we.
I would say the same in basketball. I would say we.
I don't know.
When your team goes out in the NCAA, do you pull for generally SEC teams?
It depends on who it is. I can't bring myself to root for like Tennessee or Florida.
I agree.
If it's a more obscure SEC team, I can kind of get around.
Alabama was good not too long ago.
I root for all Big Ten teams except Ohio State.
Depends on who
pretty
their
much.
coaches are
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Even like the Purdue's and Northwesterns of the world.
I'm being a little disingenuous just to prove
Yeah,
the
it's
point.
okay.
Do you like the Kentucky Wildcats?
No.
Not at all.
I don't dislike them. We can't get into that. I'll offend some people for reasons that they wouldn't think. It's not about the kids. It's not about the
Don't
kids.
hate me
The
'cause you
kids.
ain't
We're
me.
all here for the kids.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber or Tommy Boy?
I'll let you go first. I know what I'm going to do, so I'm not going to change my answer based on you. But
Well, I hope you don't change them ever.
well,
because
sometimes
of
I
me.
want him to argue the
Okay.
opposite.
All right, so, man, I saw Dumb and Dumber in the theater
Did you?
with my wife in Gatlinburg
Yeah.
because the Smoky Mountains were calling.
Sentimental, yeah.
That's right. I like Dumb and Dumber. I just think it's an upper echelon movie for Jim Carrey. He's an amazing actor. Let's just put that out there. He and Keanu.
He's a better actor than Keanu.
Like the movie. I like every little nuance of things, especially when he's got 3 sets of gloves on, 2 sets of gloves on. His buddy doesn't. How about another shrimp on the Barbie? At the end, they take off on their scooter. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's very quotable.
It's very quotable. It's very good. Does it stand up? I don't know. Do I care? Not really.
When's the last time you watched it? Been a while?
Within the year.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Yesterday. Last night.
Every Tuesday.
It's funny. I'm not the biggest Jim Carrey fan. I think he's great at what he does. I like in that movie. I prefer Jeff Daniels. I think he's to me
great.
he's funnier.
Yeah.
Comedy's probably not my strength. Tommy Boy I mean, Chris Farley and David
He's good.
Spade are my. I mean, I watch SNL every week, and I think that's the pinnacle of Chris Farley is Tommy Boy or the Van Down by the River guy.
Yeah.
Those two. Like
Yeah.
that's what I think of when I think of Chris Farley. It's so predictable. Like
Yeah,
it's
sure.
but it's still hilarious. Dumb and Dumber. I mean, it made me chuckle, but it's I don't know. That sort of humor doesn't really do it for me. And then when I saw the sequel, I was like,
No, yeah,
this
let's
is
don't bring
garbage.
that up.
Well, I mean, it's part of it for me. So
Oh.
I go with Tommy Boy just because I think honestly it was the pinnacle of Chris Farley. Like it is who he is. That
Yeah, because what was it after that? Black Sheep, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
yeah. No.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Beverly
or something
Hills
like that.
Ninja,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, they both have some.
All right. You
some
guys
stinkers.
disagreed, so I don't have to argue for anything there. Yeah, I won't. Desert Island, and you get to listen to only Journey or only Bon Jovi? The pained look on Mike Vandemark's face.
That's an incredible question. How did you know that would make me vomit?
Suicide is not an option. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Man. Well,
So bad.
I'm glad that had that effect. That's what I was hoping for.
it's a deep one.
I know it is deep. It is deep.
I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to go Bon Jovi.
Okay.
They got a lot of tunes. Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Living on a Prayer.
Yeah.
I was in
It's not all ballads all the time with
No.
Bon Jovi.
No.
You have to pick up the pace a little bit.
But that's exactly what I was going to say with Journey. It's not all like. I think for me, I would go with Journey, not just to disagree with him, so you don't have to take a stance. But Bon Jovi, man, he just rubs me. He and Richard Sambora,
You don't like them.
They just rub me wrong. They just, I don't know. They just.
What'd they do to you?
I
What
don't know,
happened?
man.
Have you ever seen them in concert?
I loved hair metal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm not above it, like
Yeah.
Poison and
Yeah.
Def Leppard and
yeah.
all that. They seemed like the guys that were like not even cool enough to get into that group for me. More girls like them than guys, you know. And Journey has a much broader catalog than we know.
Yeah.
What we know, what you're
Are the
thinking of is
ballads.
Faithfully
Yeah.
and Open Arms, and that's 80s, but
Yeah.
they go way back deep into the 70s with different singers and different keyboard players. And
So you could stay
I wouldn't be as
entertained
bored.
longer.
I wouldn't be as bored.
Right.
I wouldn't at some point go, I'm just going to shoot myself if I hear
Right.
a Bed of Roses
Highway
again.
run. I'm all by myself out here
That
in
key
this
change
desert
on
road.
Living on a Prayer is
Yeah.
going to make you lose your voice
Yeah,
after a while.
Yeah,
right.
I couldn't do it.
All right. I like that. All right. I'm glad it created that reaction. Okay. So this is a two-parter. Kobe or Mike. So we'll answer that one first. Kobe or Michael Jordan? Greatest of all time.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's MJ. It's
Okay.
no question.
All right. So MJ or LeBron? Because I knew you both go with MJ.
MJ.
Yeah, it's totally MJ.
No, see, this is what I figured this might happen. So now I have to argue for LeBron.
yeah.
So the argument that I would give,
You don't
is-
believe, but you'll get.
I don't believe, but I'll give, is Mike until 1991 had willed some teams deep into the playoffs, but never gotten out of the Eastern Conference. Okay. Early in LeBron's career, he takes possibly the worst team that's ever been represented in the finals all the way to the finals. And loses.
And who did he beat?
And
to get there?
loses. Let's see. Who did they have to get out of it? Was it
Cleveland?
It wasn't the Pistons at that point.
It was.
Was it the Pistons
Yeah.
that year?
Spurs?
Yeah, but it
That
wasn't
year.
the Pistons.
It was
that
the
were-
Pistons as they were on their downward spiral after they
Yeah,
had
they
won.
didn't have to play anybody, man. Like he
He
didn't
put
have-
him on his back.
Hey,
he got him
he
all the
didn't
way to
have
the finals.
He didn't have the Celtics
At
and
the age of
Pistons and
20.
the-
If you said who was the greatest high school basketball player,
It's LeBron. all
Well,
day.
I don't know. Then you have to get
Dude's a
deep into
man.
lore. You know, then you're talking, what about Wilt Chamberlain back
Well,
in the
I
day?
mean,
Guys
yeah.
like that, you know.
It's. I mean, it's not. It's not based on amount of championships or MVPs or any of that for me. It's literal like killer instinct.
he's
Best
a beast,
winner.
man.
He's just a winner.
Best winner.
And sometimes
Yep.
not the greatest dude to
No.
get there.
Absolutely.
But LeBron I feel like he worries too much about what people think about him, and he just doesn't always come through at the end of the game. I mean, Kyrie,
Yeah.
I would argue won that.
Yeah.
Kyrie's
That's not even an
unbelievable
argument. Kyrie
game.
hit the shot.
But he had an unbelievable game that series, and Draymond Green got ejected. I just think I think those two things, and it's totally I think we're talking completely different about it.
Well, and I don't.
The competition just it's wasn't
different.
there in the East.
I would
Different
rather
style of
have
basketball.
I
It's
think
not
it's
there
an
in the East.
easier argument even with Kobe, to be honest with you, because Kobe did have Shaq, Michael had Scotty, but I mean, neither one of those guys journeyed around looking for big threes,
Right.
you know, and
he won
that's
with
what.
Pau Gasol,
Right.
like against. I mean, I don't remember who went to the finals, but that was the era of the Celtics.
Yeah,
And-
they beat that Garnett team with
Yeah,
Ray Allen.
I mean, there were. Yeah,
Pierce,
I just
Ron
don't
Pierce.
think LeBron had much competition in the East, especially when he was young.
yeah,
I just
good
think
point.
it's-
I can't
MJ
mount much of an
MJ,
argument against
MJ,
that. So,
MJ.
flipping the channels, and Shawshank Redemption is on one channel, Braveheart's on the other. Which one do you watch?
Braveheart.
Okay.
All day, every time. I like Shawshank.
Yeah.
But I love the drama. I love
the music.
I love the culture he's trying to create. They go after it. I mean, it's a man movie.
I probably like Shawshank better, but I probably watch Braveheart because I've seen Shawshank so many times.
Yeah.
Do you watch it right before you go out and play disc golf? Get yourself off hurt. I'm sorry, man.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, it really pumps me up, man.
Yeah, that would be why I would choose.
I've only
Paint
seen
Your Face
Braveheart,
Blue.
I think, once all the way through.
Really?
I saw it in the theater. I really liked it, but I own Shawshank on DVD.
Own them both.
Do we still have DVD?
Yeah, I do.
I haven't played one in a while, but
Yeah.
I own it. And
Swing
so
by
I've
Redbox.
seen it more. I've seen it more, so I'd probably go, I haven't seen Braveheart in a while. Let me watch that.
It's easier to drop into. Braveheart's easier to just go, just pick up where
Yes.
Shawshank's a little bit, it's slower, so it's not like going to entertain you for 15 minutes necessarily, depending on where you are. But either one I'm good with. If I had to make the case for Shawshank, I would. What would I
Morgan
say?
Freeman.
It's moving.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's good to listen to, and he's the narrator. That's
Yeah.
a good call. That's
Yeah.
a good call. I like that. Okay, here we go. You are doing karaoke, and you can choose between performing. I'm tickled at my own question.
Look at you. You like that?
You're doing karaoke, and you can choose between performing Bohemian Rhapsody or the Humpty Dance. Which one do you choose?
Well, I'm going to do Bohemian because I'm going to want to look good when I sing it. I'm not going to want to look like a fool.
Okay.
I don't mind looking like a fool.
I was going to say, you did hear me say it's karaoke,
yeah,
right?
I know, but I'm still going to want to kill it, and
Okay.
I'm not going to kill Humpty. I would do much better. I wouldn't make a great Freddie Mercury, but I would.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be able to deliver.
You'd have more command of the song.
I would want the room to erupt.
It's got a lot of passion.
Not to laugh, but to erupt.
Okay. All right.
And that's vain, but it is what it is.
All right.
Depends on how early the night is. With people. The greatest song I've ever done was
That's not the question.
Charlie Daniels' "Devil Went Down to Georgia."
That's not the question.
Okay.
And I got up and I acted like I just had throat surgery and said, "Hey, my doctor said I shouldn't do this yet, but I'm gonna do my best."
Of course you did.
It was in Missouri. It was awesome. I would say, man, I don't have the chops for a Bohemian Rhapsody. I think I could probably pull off the Humpty Dance.
Yeah, that's right. That's definitely my
Find
answer.
my hammer pants back in the day, throw those things
Yeah,
on.
Digital Underground, man.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Little known, I mean, people forget he was basically a sub character of Digital Underground.
Yeah. Didn't he just pass away?
I didn't know
Did
that.
he?
R.I.P.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. Back to sports. We're rounding third and headed for home here. See that sports thing I did there?
well done.
Just,
You, buddy.
credit to Marty Brenneman. 1996 Wildcats versus, and I hope I have the year right on this.
1996.
1996 Wildcats. I know I'm right on that. Versus 1991 UNLV Running Rebels. So they won one and then got beat by Duke.
Yep.
Okay, so I think 91 is when they won, and 92 is when they got beat by Duke, because 92 is when the shot happened.
Name some of the guys just so that way.
Stacey Augman.
No,
Larry
I got.
On the
UNLV.
Cats.
Yeah.
On the Cats. Okay, so you have
Jamal.
Walter
Not
McCarty.
Jamal, it's
Not
Walter.
Jamal, Matt. Walter, Antoine Walker, Tony Delk.
Yep.
Yeah, T. Delk. And,
Jeff Shepard was actually
Point
on
guard
the
was
team.
Anthony Epps.
Anthony Epps was the point guard.
I know my UK.
Good job.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we had him right. UNLV was stacked too. I mean, Greg
Ron
Anthony.
Mercer was on that team. Derek Anderson was on that
Derek
team.
Anderson was.
It was
got hurt the
after
next
Roderick
year.
Rhodes got chased off.
Yeah.
So Roderick Rhodes leaves 95. Then we win it all 96.
I know I'm not an expert in UK basketball, but I mean, that's when I was in college here. That to me is the best UK team I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's one
People
of
talk
the
about the
best college
2015
basketball teams.
but
I think the 96 team beats the 2015 team if it's Cats versus
so
Cats.
Go ahead.
It's two different
this
eras.
Is you're a Cats guy.
And
You remember the UNLV guys?
Yeah,
Larry
they were
Johnson,
intimidating,
Stacey
man.
Augman.
Stacey Augman, Larry Johnson,
Was Kenny-
Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony. I
Greg
always
Anthony,
think the
not
Jet Smith,
Kenny
but
Anderson.
It's
Yeah.
it's Greg Anthony.
Yeah.
George, was it Ackles or something like that?
They were
He was on the
pretty
team.
good.
And they only ran like 6 or 7 guys.
They were pretty good.
They ran hard. Grandmama. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
they were kind of like the Fab
Stacey
Five.
Augman was the best player on the team,
He was
really.
excellent. Yeah. What they call him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Gumby? I don't. You remember?
I don't remember that. I don't remember
I feel like they do. Anyway, I'm going to go with our Cats. We're deep. They were intimidating, though. I mean, they kind of, UNLV kind of Fab Five before they,
Yeah.
But I think we got a pretty deep team.
Yeah.
And
it's a good argument.
That was
the
Rick at the time. And yeah, I would go there.
Similar styles. It'd be a fun game.
Similar styles, deeper bench, and I'll take the coach.
Yeah.
I'll take Rick all day.
Yeah.
We can talk about however we want to about him as a
Or
person.
Tark the Shark.
Rick is a
Biting on
heck
the
of a
tail.
coach and tenacious, and I think they had a deeper bench.
Yeah.
And maybe the Larry Johnson and Stacy and them would have been more athletic, but not that much. And so I would have to go with the 96.
Ooh, dang it!
Cats.
You're making me have to argue for the Running
So,
Rebels.
let's hear what you got with-
Yeah,
with Turk.
I think I would say that they would play the same game. So they would get up and down the floor. So then it just comes down to who can score more points, which. At the end of the day, I'll probably just go with the toughness factor for UNLV that might barely edge out the Cats, even though I don't believe anything about what I just said. So, but that would be what I would have to say is probably the toughness factor. Those dudes were grown men.
Yep.
I mean, but same era. 96. It was still before the one and done thing was happening a lot, and that's why I think the 96 Cats would beat the 2015 Cats probably badly.
And I'm not saying Jerry Tarkanian's not a great coach. He's
Wasn't
a heck
much
of a
to
coach
it.
But I think Rick would have pushed him over the top.
I think you're probably right. All right. Better actor, Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy? Better actor, Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy?
That's really hard.
I didn't say better.
I actually
comedian.
like both of them. Which is funny. I love some of those Martin Lawrence movies that are just
Bad Boys?
Bad Boys or the one where he's like a jewel thief or
Tim Robbins is in it.
yeah.
That's a funny movie.
Shawshank Redemption.
Well, he's in
What?
Shawshank. Yeah,
Who's
but
in Shawshank?
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. I was like,
He made me question myself for a second.
So there's a Big Mama's House.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And of course, Eddie Murphy then did The Nutty Professor, which was a very similar thing where they dress up,
Yeah.
And,
Cletus.
oh man,
I called your name if your name is.
I love Martin. I love the
walk over.
sitcom.
You go come
I
down, but
loved-
you go
limping back.
I loved all that. I'm going to go with Martin Lawrence as the better actor because I just I can immediately. There's some Eddie Murphy movies I love too. Eddie's probably better at stand up, but I'm going to go with Martin because there's just some nostalgia to some of his movies with me.
Gotcha. I'm going to go to Eddie Murphy. He's got a butt ton of movies. He
I don't mean they were good.
A lot of them are terrible.
sometimes it's about reps. He got a lot
Dr.
more.
Dolittle, you into Dr. Dolittle?
It's my favorite. I watch it every night. I love the
Donkey,
impressions he
Shrek
does.
Donkey.
Yeah, the voiceover stuff doesn't.
Come on.
I guess should count.
Donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll do, Donkey.
Do it again.
Come on, Mike Myers. Now let's go there.
He's good. He's good too. I'm just because I think Eddie Murphy's movies probably make me laugh more.
Yeah.
But I love
Martin's
but I love that movie with he and
Tim Robbins.
and Tim Robbins,
forget
man.
what it's called, but-
If you've not seen
I
it,
was
you need to
to say,
see
I'm
it.
not
Blue
remembering that
Streak
one.
or
It's not that. It's something else.
Yeah.
We could look for it, but we won't right now. But it's funny, man. It's
Yeah.
really good. I'm still
When
gonna
he's
say
like-
Eddie Murphy.
when his lip goes up and he's good. I can't intimidate. I can't.
I did like the
imitate
Martin
him,
show though. I watched that a lot.
Martin was awesome.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
forget how huge he was as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Obviously Eddie Murphy was
Legendary, too.
way above. But
Yeah.
all right, last question. This is it, fellas. Who wins in a fist fight, Willie Nelson or Tony Bennett? Tony Bennett's still
Now?
alive.
Now?
Yeah, right now. Is Tony Bennett still
You should
alive?
go Google that.
I think he is. Last I checked.
Oh man.
This is an assumption. I just feel like Tony Bennett has probably been in rougher places in New York City
I'm
and
with you.
and clubs.
I'm
And
with you.
I don't know if that doesn't mean Willie Nelson wouldn't be really scrappy,
More
'cause
vigorous.
He seems wiry because
He's wiry.
and he might
He's
be
still going,
He
man.
might
Yeah.
be completely high and
Yeah.
not feel the pain or something. I don't
older?
know.
I think Tony Bennett's older, but
Quite a
I
bit?
just feel like Tony
Not by
may
a
have had
lot.
to stick up for himself more at
Yeah.
the back door of a club to get his money, that's the only thing I can come up
Yeah.
with that makes me think maybe he was tough because of his background versus Willie, who's a country guy.
what do you think, Scott?
That's a pretty good argument. I'm gonna be honest.
I know I'm grasping at straws here, man.
Out of the air.
It's pretty good, but
It's maybe the dumbest question I've ever heard, to be honest.
He's from New York. He probably handles his business.
he's probably been in some mob fights, But Willie Nelson's probably been in some backroom bar brawls, you know. You never know.
He
I don't
looks
know
more feeble.
I don't think Willie Nelson has
pretty
ever
chill.
been very robust.
And I don't think he's a fighter.
No, he
I don't
doesn't
see
come
him
across
as a
that way.
fighter.
Hand to hand, though. I mean, it's just what you're talking about. Nothing
Maybe
else?
that's why there's that hole in his guitar. He hits people over the head with it, something like that. All right.
I'm
That's a
going
bad
to land with
question to end
Vandy.
on.
I'm going to land with Vandy.
I like that question. All right, fellas.
You asked and then you said, wait, is he alive?
Yeah, I think he is, because I looked it up not too long ago. Because at some point there was an argument about who's the oldest touring musician, like pre-COVID. That was a question. Willie Nelson was still going strong.
It wasn't one of the Stones.
Well, I think, that's a good question.
Probably Willie, actually.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
I think Tony Bennett got sidelined for a little while, but I think he's still alive.
No, yeah, he's still
our
alive.
apologies.
He just did duets with Lady Gaga. He's still alive.
There you go.
Yeah.
Serious question before
Yes,
we
sir.
close up. How many discs do you have in your disc bag?
0. But when I did play Frisbee golf, I played at Shillato
How
many
old
years
were you?
ago. 21.
First of all,
Yeah, I was grown.
It's disc golf.
Yeah.
Frisbee's
a brand.
name
I'm
of
aware.
A different style. Of
Is it a
flying
sport?
disc.
I did go to Play It Again Sports and got like a driver and a putter. We have a disc thing in our front yard.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so from the front porch, we'll throw to it.
Whose is that?
cool.
It's ours. It's like ours. It's families.
Can you go over and
Yeah,
practice?
you want to come
I
practice?
need somewhere to practice.
Yeah, so we'll walk around to different places and we'll be like, all right, this is par 2, this
There
is
you
par
go.
3, whatever. So I just won't go out in
I'm
public.
glad, I'm, glad I could be your punching bag today.
It'd be fun if you had fireworks and you were shooting. That was your defense.
That's right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Locker Room. If you made it this far with us, if you actually listened to all this nonsense for the whole time,
Very
more power
redeeming.
to you. I hope it helped you laugh a little bit today and maybe gave you some good conversation starters. We'll be back to some more serious stuff next time. See ya.